they do even no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make you shout. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come, man of the masses. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, Mayegun diary politico. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo. This Mayegun la wa mo la mo do 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 do. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun la wa mo la mo do 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 do. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Good afternoon to you, good morning to you, good evening to you once again from wherever you are watching from. And yes, this is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun máa wí, Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun diary, diary politico. Mayegun diary.
Thank you for joining me.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun.
This is the kind of program I'm going to do, and I'm going to have to mix it up with Yoruba. And people are going to call in, they're going to speak Yoruba, because I want to address something very, very important tonight, where we can manage, speculations and all of that in that regard. So I'm going to speak a bit of Yoruba on this program tonight, but for the sake of my audience, my viewers who are Yoruba non-speaking viewers, I can be able to carry you along. So it's going to be interesting, quite interesting. Tell them.
Lórí Facebook, and yes, so like
She process today.
lórí YouTube, and yes, so like
I wish I'm not sitting down here and I'm actually with you in the comment section. I think some of you are making lots and lots of friends in the comment section on YouTube. So I wish I'm there. Share the broadcast. That's important. You are greeting your friends, welcome, and all of that. To the Temple of Truth tonight, make sure you actually drop your offerings before you settle down. Thank you.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o, ayé sọ́ra jù, òkúta olóṣèlú, ayé sọ́ra jù, ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù, ayé sọ́ra jù. Mayegun ti dé.
Ẹ káalẹ́ o, ẹ káàsán, ẹ káàárọ̀ from wherever you are watching from ní gbogbo ibikíbi tí ẹ bá ti ń wo Mayegun ní time yìí. Although the writer for this broadcast says Nigeria is a weapon fashioned against us. And I think there is a prayer, a kind of a counter statement that says, no weapon fashioned against us shall prosper, which means Nigeria will not see our end. We will likely see the end of Nigeria. And, if you and I won't see that, maybe our children will actually meet a less battle, organized, coordinated, and pretty much, clearer than what some of us are trying to do now to make a sort of like pathfinders, pathfinders who are like trying to, cut the path for millions that are still going to walk through it. So we can call ourselves the parents of the generation that are likely going to live in Yoruba nation as independence people, or they will be so close to it and they wouldn't have to do what we are doing. Again, they will only have to build on it. Just like I told Professor Banji Akintoye and Professor Wale Adeniran when they were on Mayegun's Diary Political, that we will be building on what you are leaving behind, because you have shown us, like some of my friends publicly admitted, said, you have shown us that there are still elders, that you can call leaders in Yoruba land, that all hope is not lost after all. So if Nigeria is a weapon fashioned against us, and the Bible says no weapon fashioned against us is going to prosper, then we can at least build on the clearer, honorable legacies of the likes of these two Babas. And that's what actually got us to take a further advancement in our involvement in reshaping, redefining what is it about Yoruba nation that the old and the new generation are kind of agitating for. How do you make more people to understand it? How do you make more people to know, after they've known all of the damages of Nigeria? You can tell them from morning till night. They know about it and they will tell you it is getting bad, it is getting worse, it is this and that. So if you want them to embrace what we call a liberty, what do you call liberty voyage, so to say, liberty ship, definitely a lot of people need to get involved. And it is by them getting involved that we will bring more clarity into why the Yorubas should be demanding for something better, including their own nation. Do you get what I mean now? So that's how we got involved. Before now, yeah, many people, many Yorubas all over the world, what, after realizing the damages Nigeria have done, and also after realizing that they could ask for the best or something better than what they are currently getting right now, they are at the same time, they are pretty much like, like in the wilderness. Do you get what I mean? Where everybody is doing what they think is right. So what do I mean by that? People know about the unfair, unjust arrangement called Nigeria, and how much that has limited the progress, the growth. It has stunted the growth of the Yoruba people. Not just also, I'm a Yoruba man, so I'm speaking out, just like other people are doing. Now, as in our own case, we have saboteurs, people who have been part of that system, who are also Yorubas. Now, everybody picks it up. No, I mean, we deserve better. Now, that's how people started finding themselves. They're finding themselves in this course. So if we say Nigeria has cheated us a lot, and our brothers and sisters, so many of them who are now old, they are now old people, these guys have collaborated with Nigeria. How do we get something better out of this whole arrangement? How do we find ourselves and team up and build enough, build enough strength on those who actually want this to happen? So people were doing their own, people in America. I am here in the UK. Before majority of them even felt like, oh, let us do Yoruba Nation. Let us do Yoruba Nation and the rest of that. People like us have been talking about it. Yes, we have been talking about the visible marginalization of the Yorubas. I have been talking about what Nigeria is doing to us, and for us still being part of that Nigeria, and at the same time getting the worst of the worst deals, which are made by those who are also Yorubas, those who are supposed to speak up. So I've always been like that, and then more people started talking about it. But what I didn't realize was that it actually opened a kind of a new vista of unexplainable craze and madness. I'm talking about this Yoruba nation struggle. It got to a point whereby people were building cliques. You know, I'm supposed to be a Yoruba man, and whenever I hear them talking about a Yoruba nation or anything Yoruba, I should be interested, shouldn't I? And at the same time, as a Yoruba man, I should be able to also express what I think. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do, you know what I mean? But what I didn't realize then was that the issue of Yoruba nation struggle don't turn to cliques, whereby if you don't belong to that one, then you are not in the right one. You know what I mean? All of that. But we didn't know. Majority of us who actually genuinely wanted to see a coordinated Yoruba agenda, which is symbolic and all kind of, consensus in a way where majority agree that no, Yorubas cannot continue to take this. We don't care about all these rogues who are parading themselves as Yoruba political leaders. They are not representing us. And if we want to prove that, then we want to see more people reject them. Coordinated rejection, not not factional or fractured rejection. So some of us are here, majority are calling me, Mayegun, what do you think? Where do you think we should belong to? I say, well, the only ones I have seen so coordinated, in my own opinion, because these are the people who are really doing it. They said they want Yoruba nation, and they've laid out manifestos, they've laid out campaigns. You know what I mean? That seems serious than just talking about it. Who are they? Well, they said Yoruba Global Directorate. I think that was the name, the initial one. And that was when I got to know about Professor Banji Akintoye. Oh, I love this man. I love this. Definitely, there are indeed senior men, Yorubas, who actually are doing it. They are going to get us out of Nigeria. You know, it's quite interesting. We want to be part of it. Then something happened, and it became Ilano. And Akintoye was still there, but a lot was going on because, like I said, they have fractured. They have made it kind of a clique of a thing. You know, it wasn't all for Yoruba nation anymore, and I think that played out. You remember when they staged a coup to overthrow, in fact, they actually did say they overthrown Professor Banji Akintoye. Now, at that point, some of us who actually, not just myself, many others who actually felt like this could happen, they started kind of taking a back seat. But I didn't understand. I didn't know that as people built cliques, groups, they have turned it into money-making machine. You know why I'm telling you all of this? Because it got to a point, everything about this Yoruba nation, all of that, when Oloye Sunday Igboho was no longer in the picture, that kind of died down. Unsurprisingly, anyway. Died down. And some of us, again, from the rear, we're just like, okay, what is going on? And I think I remember when we tried something, when we said, why don't we just invite them over and ask, how can we be of help? We actually, especially some of us in the diaspora, honestly speaking, we were interested. And as you can tell, anyway. But we didn't know that they've turned it into money-making machine. That out there, Ilanomo Udua, Yoruba nation, all those babas, they are just out there. Underneath them, a lot of people they have opened shop. Kí ni mò ń sọ? Nígbà tí everybody sọ pé Yorùbá ni o, Yorùbá nation ni o, kò sẹ́ni tó fura sí pé wọ́n ti sọ di business lọ́ndà àwọn bàbá yẹn. Àwọn bàbá yẹn, nǹkan tó máa ṣe ni pé tó bá ti cook up anything tán, wọ́n á lọ invite àwọn bàbá yẹn, wọ́n á invite wọn sínú Zoom chat wọn. So far táwọn bàbá yẹn ti wà ń bẹ̀, anything any owó tẹ́ bá ti fi pa àwọn èèyàn ti gbà pé Yorùbá nation ni wọ́n ń ná fún. Last all those babas, they barely see quarter of those money. So that kind of built a sort of a community of distrust, mistrust. Remember I said they've already partitioned themselves on this issue of Yoruba nation. Those ones who are abroad, those ones who are in Nigeria, all they needed is, they do this, by the way, what they do is they will pressure those Baba. We are working on something. So if the Baba says, I need to get this or get that, people just automatically open shop on them. Now, I'm not making this up, okay? And I'm not saying that people didn't help them. But you know what happened? All those help were coming from those who probably individually have to reach out to them. When they were telling me their experience and how they felt like many people who came to say, oh, it's Yoruba nation, we are going to, you know what I mean? They were struggling to pay lawyers. They were struggling to maintain themselves in Benin Republic. They were struggling to, they have to like call people, ask, beg, and all of that. Meanwhile, on social media, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, donate to Yoruba nation, donate to Free Sunday Igboho, donate to this, donate to that. I didn't know that. I didn't know. But you know, we wanted to help. We want them to have a central purse. Okay? We know they are the ones doing it. They've volunteered to do it. That is what many of us probably won't be able to do. Volunteering, giving all your efforts, your time, including your money. Because I figured it out that if you are doing all of this, trust me, yeah, people may be giving you money personally, yeah, gift. People give me money. People send me money, PayPal, this, that. And I, apart from my own money, which is quite, contented. I'm quite contented with where I get. People still reach out to me and say, Amayegun, take this, take that, which is all right. But people go out there to raise fund because they spoke to the Babas and said, we are going to do this and that. So there was no coordination, right? And then we said, why don't you have something so coordinated? We are here. People are all over the place. We can bring them together. We can build the number. We can swell the number. We can give you resources. Tí yóò bá ń pè ní agbọ́nmágbẹ, a lè create ìkòkò agbọ́nmágbẹ fún yín tó lè take care everybody tẹ́ bá ti lè wà accountable fún. So why not do that? So odindi ọdún kan la fi dúró tẹ́ bá gbàgbé, especially on Mayegun's Diary Political. And I have been so kind of, just because maybe I'm okay fi bẹ́ẹ̀, mi ò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ pay attention, because most of these people mi ò mọ̀ wọ́n. Until recently, tí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní dáwọn orúkọ kan fún mi, dáwọn orúkọ kan, ta lélẹ́yìí? Do you know this person? You know this, mi ò mọ̀, I don't know these people. These are people who were reigning last year, Yoruba Nation, this, I don't know them. But that's good. What happened? They are not happy. Why are they not happy? Well, I don't really care if they are or not. But something led us to where we said, okay, if they are not going to take our help, fine. We know anything they are planning against themselves and what have you, they can deal with themselves. However, it is damaging because, take for instance, so from last year to this year, that's a whole year. That if they have taken our advantage last year, maybe it could have been better by now. But you know what happened? It is because of all this division. We go do it's like competition for them. Do you understand? And since Igbo was out, so people want to know what is going on. Do you get what I mean now? So somehow, people were able to give them their money. You were able to give them your money. And most of the money ended up in the private pocket of many of them. And that was where the mistrust came in. That was where the Baba and the, Baba Kintoye, Baba Deniran, that is where they just feel like, if you want to do anything for Yoruba nation, just go and do it. There's no point in you trying to call us and say, oh yeah, Baba, come. I want to do something for Yoruba nation. I will not even see it. 2 months, a month, 2 months after that, nobody will hear anything about it anymore. Until somebody else is now saying something elsewhere. Oh, let us do something for Yoruba nation. You know what I mean? So those Baba were like, we have heard a lot, Jare. If you want to do anything, we appreciate all of you. All of you, my sons and daughters abroad, all of you, God will, that's how Baba will tell you. Say, all of you, God will bless you. If you say just go and do it. There's no point in bringing us into anything money, because they realize that 70% of the money they said they are raising for them, a pin of 70% of that never get to them. And nobody ever explained that. So then they heard that, I say, Mayegun don't bypass all of this cock and bull story. Number one, they are not happy with the way they are handling the legal case of Oloye Sunday Igboho, that nobody is really giving us any straight answer. They're just giving us this, giving us that. Nothing is straightforward. All we heard that then was that we are doing everything. We are working. Now, where the Kasala start to? So if you have people were messaging us like, oh boy, some people know they appeal. And I'm going to tell you, some said I should name them. I don't want to name them right now. The intention of the Yoruba Rescue Fund, I'm giving you the timeline. How did we get there? How are we going to do it? What is it intended for? And then you understand, if you see anybody saying any jargons after that, you can possibly watch my broadcast from the beginning again. You understand how we got here, okay? So we're so much like me, I didn't, me, I have sworn never to criticize anyone or any group of organization that legitimately stands up against the rotten system of Nigeria. No matter from what angle you are looking at it from, if you are completely, openly against that rigged system, right? To me, you are doing the right thing. Do you understand that now? So when politicians breaks the law and they want you to obey that same law, that they have a name for it in the legal terms, okay? You can disobey the law from that moment. So when you disagree with this fake constitution of Nigeria and the rest of them, right, legitimately, you will be my friend. So I sworn never to really, even if they say things against me, if they come for me in a public way, I'm going to take it as a good thing, okay? And I'm going to use the opportunity to possibly even educate people more on why this is this. And then people can still form their opinion in any way, right? So we were pushed to that point. Like people said, what are you doing to get Oloye Sunday Igboho out? And I'm like, I am not his lawyer. I'm just like you. We want to do something, but we just don't know how. We don't know from where. Do you get what I mean now? Mayegun, you need to do, now they push me. Now they say, Mayegun, yeah, go. And I said, okay, if you say we should do something, then I'm going to go talk to the person involved, the man himself. And he said, yeah, please do something. If you want to do something, I appreciate that. And, and then I came back to you. I said, yeah, he agreed that this whole thing doesn't make any sense. They didn't make any sense. And indeed, if we think we could make a difference, why not? And I also told you, I said that we are going to get involved. It's not to blame those who have been doing it. Because if they have not been doing it, in fact, you remember when Baba came here and Baba said, if no be say somebody did Benin Republic, not because they were there or they received the report that he's been Oloye Sunday Igboho has been arrested in Benin Republic. If not because they received the report early enough, they would have extradited him back to Nigeria like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Do you understand that part? So that's why I said, listen, I heard a lot. I heard a lot of things. People call me to tell me about secret meetings, secret phone calls, secret arrangements. about secret payments, money received by this person, that person. Do you understand what I mean? But I now realize that people who give me all this information about what is going on inside the Yoruba nation struggle, everybody with their different faction, everybody with their own different source of funding, and all of those stuffs, right? People who told me all those things, there was never any part in time where they put Baba Akintoye or put Professor Wale Adeniro in the center of any of those. Do you understand that now? So that then makes me believe that it's actually a big racket. That some of you are only seeing the periphery of it, like the surface. So me, I didn't care. I don't really care about who they are. I don't give a damn about them. The only thing is that we are all getting our energy. Let me tell you this. So some of them may not tell you. If you see anybody on social media, apart from Sunday Igboho, yes, apart from Sunday Igboho that has proved it, apart from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who these two people have proved it. They have the street credibility. They have the online, offline credibility. When Nnamdi Kanu was out there, did you see the crowd? Everywhere. It wasn't like saying, I'm coming to Enugu. No. The moment his convoy enters Enugu, the entire Enugu will shut. You remember? Same thing with Oloye Sunday Igboho. We are going to be in Osun. By the time they entered Osun, everywhere, block. Those ones are the people who have the credibility that they get from the streets. But you look at me very well, eh? I may have 100 people watching me. I may have 1,000 people watching me. Do you know where majority of us are deriving our inspiration and energy from? The number of people that are sitting down to listen to us. So if you are sitting, if I am sitting down here now, and I have 2,000, let me tell you this, right? So that you understand the reason why some of this, well, I even come back to that. However, you see, some of us like this, if you have 500 people watching you, it is a different energy to when you have 1,000 people listening to you. It is also a different energy when you have 2,000 people listening to you, watching you live. And it is a completely different energy when you have 4,000, 5,000 people. So at that point, you may be feeling so powerful, invincible. But you don't really have that street credibility because I haven't proved it. I haven't been on the street and people will say, hey, Mayegun don't come, yo, block the streets. So I don't live through that. That's why these people don't really matter in a way. But yeah, that's how we got involved. We felt like, listen, if we want to know what is going on in there, if we want to make any difference, if we want to get people, reasonable people, genuine people who want Yoruba nation, genuine people who are ready to work, do the work or not cash out on it. Are you with me? Then we must get involved and reshape it. And that was when we said, why don't we get the legal team together? Let's start from there. Why don't we get in touch with the victims of this barbarity? Let's go into that. Why don't we just, and on. We were just doing our own. We call it intervention. At some point, I personally know that at some point we're going to run out of whatever money we put together because it is just an intervention. It is not like this is the new Yoruba Nation campaign group, just to let people who have been doing the job never to feel like somebody is coming to compete with them. Even though, behind the scene, make I no lie you, it is dog eat dog. No joke. So immediately that happened, the first set of people who start, when I brought the idea that we are going to get involved, we need to get some money, we need to raise some money and get involved. And when you have the money, you can ask any question. Yes, you can. You can walk into any place and say, I want to talk to the person who controls this place. Yes, you can. I know how to send money. I can send money around and it will do the job for me without me leaving my room. I won't leave this room. You can send a lot of money, some errands, and they will deliver. And I will be getting the results right here in my room. So and I think that triggered majority of them. What's this idea? What's this idea of bringing all of everybody together to raise money? Because all they saw was money, money, money. Some of them are watching me right now. Normally, this is the point where I actually feel personally angry between Martin Saba and Martin Fair, because you know what? Wọ́n máa jókòó báyìí láti nǹkan sìn, wọ́n ti jókòó síbẹ̀ yẹn sìn. Look at them. Wọ́n ti jókòó lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan all over the world ibi tó wà. Àwọn Yoruba nation, Yoruba nation, Yoruba nation. The moment Igboho is no longer doing rally, they could no longer brag. They could no longer flex. You know, since Igboho was in detention, they have I mean, that means everybody who wants to see an update, where is Igboho going next time? What is going to happen next time? Oh, the Yoruba, I mean, the Yoruba vigilantes, Yoruba nation warriors, they have just chased the Fulani into the forest now. They have done all of this. You saw those dramas of that era. When Igboho was no longer there, they disappeared. So it became really, really tough. So the views reduced. And so was the money. So who is this guy? And we know this Mayegun. So who is Mayegun? Now that guy where they present in English, he's a Yoruba man. Well, say that you will not even know if it's a Yoruba man. They are now doubting me. I'm talking about my fellow Yoruba brothers. This is what they told me. They told me that just because we said we're going to get involved in Oloye Sunday Igboho's illegal detention. Remember, the majority of them now started saying, "Oh, I know him. I know him. Mayegun. He's a one Nigerian. He's a one Nigerian man." No joke. They were doing meetings. Simply because we stay here, we just don't want to talk anymore. We want to get involved. We want to see something change. We want to see it different. Now then they started, who is that Mayegun? Who is he? Which Mayegun? Which they said, now one Nigerian Mayegun. The guy is a one Nigerian. You won't believe it. They said it. That's a stage by all those Olori Brukus are watching me right now. They are my brothers and sisters. Yoruba nation, Olori Bruku ni won. They are watching me. I want Olori Bruku Elebi. They are watching me right now. They started reaching out. Hey, Mayegun, I need to talk to you. Who are you? I don't know you. Mayegun, there's something I need to say to you about this case of, I watch your I said, what the hell are you? I don't know you. Why do you want to talk to me about what I said about Sunday Igboho? I mean, why do you want to talk to me? That's the few that managed to send me messages. But me, I didn't know that they were doing meetings, series of meetings. I didn't know that was the beginning. That was the beginning. They said it's not a real Yoruba. You won't believe it, That Mayegun is being sponsored by Igbos. Can you believe that? They said it. Some said, I like him. He's a very, very, he's a very brilliant young man. But he's a pro-Nigeria. He's one Nigeria. Ẹ̀yin bàbá wèrè tẹ́ sọ Yoruba nation the business. Èmi ò dẹ̀ wá bá yín, as in I didn't come for you. Shey you get. Èmi represent àwọn èèyàn tó genuinely they want to see the impacts of what the advocacy for Yoruba nation is. Kì í ṣe ìta mama fọdún wọ́dún. Mama fọdún wọ́dún. Mama jẹra yín lẹ́sẹ̀. Mama wá bẹ́ ṣe máa jẹra yín lẹ́sẹ̀. Ẹ fẹ́ máa ṣe me versus you. Ẹ ló ń pe meeting torí Mayegun. Ṣé kò ń ṣe wèrè ló wà lórí yín yẹn? Àwọn you see àwa kan wà tá really ní interest tá a fẹ́ kí Yorùbá jẹ́ part of Nigeria mọ́ genuinely. And taba ni way wa, we will empower the genuine Yoruba sons and daughters. Àwọn tó níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́, àwọn tó wà responsible. I'm talking about real people. Kò ń ṣe ẹ̀yin wèrè tó yẹ pé ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Facebook, ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ YouTube. Suddenly, ẹ ti dẹni tó máa decide fún wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Bá ṣe máa ṣe àbí bá ṣe ní ṣe. Ẹ máa decide fún ẹni tó jẹ́ Yorùbá. Ẹ máa decide ẹni tó ń ṣe Yorùbá fún wa. Ẹ ti ya wèrè. Ìdọ́ba bí ire nù yín. kó lọ tan camera ẹ̀ kó dárúkọ mi face to face so that káwọn tèmi gbọ́ pé Máyégún ṣó ti wo fídíò báyìí màá wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ gbogbo nǹkan tí mo mọ̀ ń pa wọn àtàwọn wèrè tó ń pè mí lábẹ́lẹ̀ nítorí pé kí ni wọ́n wò bóyá mo lè fún wọn lówó. Yes, there are some of them calling me thinking that they are that important. You know me, I do respect people. Honestly, I do respect people. But when people turn around and they turn good intention to whatever they want to turn it into, right? So I've turned it into, when we get to that stage, I will mention their names, okay? And I will actually tell you some of them who spoke to me. I recorded their conversation. Olórí burúkú ló pọ̀ jù nínú wọn. I better ká record nǹkan tó sọ. Àwọn wèrè tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ ń sìn tó máa change ẹ̀ tó bá ti di láàrin àwọn wèrè tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ àsọ̀rọ̀ míì. Báwo máa ń sọ òwe yẹn náà wọ́n ní àwọn tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ àná di nǹkan míì mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ kójúmọ́ tó mọ́. Àwọn wèrè. You won't understand why they are all mentioning Máyégún. Some of you won't even understand. You will think they are saying it from the genuine heart, genuine mind. If some of them want to make you feel like they were actually trying to say the right thing, they will say, I respect Máyégún a lot. He's a very young man I respect a lot. Now from their camp, I know all their names there. I know their camp. I know what, a lot. I know a lot, honestly. But because my intention is not to come and fight anybody, okay? Some of us don't love that our brothers and sisters are being criminalized. Some of them are being killed simply because, what do you call it? Simply because they are asking for fairness in Nigeria. So that's how we got involved. And I said, hey, I have an idea. Why don't we do this? It's okay, fine. Omo, now fundraiser for Sunday. Oh boy, everybody lost it. Oh. You know me, I like not to speak too much. Some of you are laughing. This is a serious matter. I hope you are following the key points of why I am telling you this. Okay? I need you to follow it too. That's how I got involved in getting funds to get involved in the legal detention of Oloye Sunday Igboho. And rightly so, as a Yoruba man with Yoruba friends, with Igbo friends, with Hausa friends, with everybody who love Máyégún in the Temple of Truth, we got involved. And somehow, if you go to Odo-Ogbolu now, in Odo-Ogbolu, my hometown, the day that they released Oloye Sunday Igboho, people were calling themselves, Máyégún don't free Igboho. Máyégún, Máyégún don't free Igboho. Máyégún and his friends, they said, our lawyers are going to strike by Monday. By Monday, they released Igboho. Now, that didn't go down well with some of these guys. Remember, immediately we announced that we're going to get involved. We're going to raise money. We're going to They started calling me. They started calling themselves. And sadly, they started pressurizing the Babas. Can you believe that? They started pressurizing them. Hey, Baba, we are already doing this thing. This is, we don't care. Now, we say, all of you come together. Come together. When you come together, we identify what everybody is doing, online, offline. You know what I mean, right? We identify them. We acknowledge them. We appreciate them. But if you are smart, in fact, you will become Máyégún's friends. Honestly speaking, you won't be Máyégún's enemy. Because you see the concept Máyégún is bringing is like a free flow of funding towards whatever you want to do. As long as you can keep account and give well, that may be a problem. Some of them, like Baba Akintoye said, they said they were doing GoFundMe. We didn't know that they are doing GoFund yourself. They were funding their pockets. So if you actually genuinely support Yoruba Nation, you should just anywhere you see me, you just embrace me and say, oh, Máyégún, I love you. I love you. Honestly, because I am pretty much the idea that makes it easier for you if you can keep account. We want to see me in my own word. If people say, we will need to go to Ibadan, and when we get to Ibadan, we need to meet citizens. I'll be like, you know what? What is going to be your logistics going to Ibadan? If we get 4 of us, if we enter Ibadan from Ijebu-Ode to see, calm down. You don't need to break your bone, break your head. You see, the fact that you are volunteering to even go to Ibadan, when you can choose to go and do something else, that is probably beneficial to you directly. Then you volunteer and say, I'm going to go to Ibadan because of Yoruba Nation. And then I say, okay, we are sending you to Ibadan. Now, we want to give you the logistic for it. Don't make it hard on yourself. How much do you think will be enough for you going to Ibadan? Mayegun will be 4. If we get like 100,000, me, I won't question it. Why is it that Ibadan 100,000? You know why? It's because, to me, if that is something that is make it worthwhile of you going, now what you bring back from that Ibadan, now you know they pay for. It is not what you spend going to Ibadan. Whether you stop somewhere, all of you now stop somewhere, they drink a sewu, and me, I'll write it down. Chief Toto Akin Yele, this. 100,000 naira logistic for trip to Ibadan. Purpose to meet with this, and that. Result, they came back. You know what I mean? That's how me I work. Now, where people they work, now where then they workshop. So I don't have any problem with you if you are in any way getting anything for yourself for volunteering to publicly promote the Yoruba Nation advocacy. I don't care about that. But what we are saying is this: if they are smart, they will grab this opportunity. But they are not smart. You know what happened? They started pressurizing the Baba. This person. But I think what finally broke everybody's back is that I spoke with the Baba. Well, people started calling them. Listen, it's not me, Now people started calling them and said, hello, Baba, Alano. There is this young man that we want you to meet. He is Mayegun. In fact, they said all of that themselves when they came here, Abi. They said all of that. And then surprisingly, nobody called them to say, Adam Mayegun is a thief, or don't trust him. No. They couldn't call because they have no idea that some people have seen bigger picture, clearer and bigger picture of the concept of bringing people together to support one cause, and they put their money behind it. You know what I mean? So some people within Yoruba land, not be all of them be Lano Duao, but majority of them, they have direct contact to Professor Banji Akintoye. It's quite shocking. When Baba said, oh, I've never spoken to him before. Oh, yeah, Baba, we've spoken before. I brought you onto Mayegun's Diary Politico to ask, how can we be of help? And you told us then that you will come back. You remember? But it doesn't matter anymore. So people started telling him about Mayegun. And so, Baba, who is this person? Who is that boy? Who is he? I mean, we know some people in London. They said they were raising money for us. The money we no see. The result we know here. Which one is another one called Mayegun? Because, Baba, Monyon. Mayegun. Baba, wo. Gbọ́dọ̀ mọ Mayegun. Gbọ́dọ̀ mọ Mayegun lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Gbọ́dọ̀ wá bẹ́ ṣe máa mọ Mayegun. And I'm talking about people who actually fund and support the movement with their own money. These are not people raising money. These are not people raising money on social media. These are like those ones where we say they are the people who believe in Yoruba Nation. And at the same time, they still have affiliation business-wise with Nigeria. So they are not publicly saying Yoruba Nation now. You know what I mean? But they are like this with the issue of Yoruba Nation. And they have been the one managing to fund the legal deeds, the welfare of Baba, their travel, their this and that. When me and you, they wait for breaking news. Wait till Baba Akintoye said. Baba Akintoye said, breaking news. Baba Akintoye said,